Howdy do, buckaroos. The second that I decided I was finally ready to start recording this voiceover, of course, is when the construction started again on my street. So, like I've said before, welcome to the construction zone. It's gonna be sick. Whatever it is they're building. Yeah. So, this is, Suburban, but I wanted to do an off-the-grid Suburban because I feel like a lot of people treat the off-the-grid or eco-friendly options in The Sims 4 like they have to be some separate kind of build, when in reality, and all of those options can be applied to your regular build style. You can definitely 100% do an eco-friendly regular suburban build, which is what I did. Also, there's a waterfall. I'm having way too much fun experimenting with terrain. So you get another waterfall. Sorry. It's fine, I guess. It's not a bad waterfall. It's not the best waterfall. But it was fun. If you have the patience for that sort of thing. There's a lot of shifting and tweaking involved in building a waterfall. So if you're down for that, here you go. Yeah. So that's this build in a nutshell. Once I get done with this waterfall takes me a long time. But I think it would be usable. I didn't play test it as an actual pool. I scrolled through debug for a while because I was trying to decide if I wanted to make it look like it was built there, if it was naturally occurring, and I ended up going with naturally occurring because there's just some really great debug rocks, Yeah, so I find the debug rocks, and I put those in. I swear I had a thought and it's gone. I had something specific I needed to say. Darn. It's the rocks in the place, and it's a waterfall. I'm sure that was it. I nailed it. It was about it being a usable pool. I'm not sure. I didn't play test it, but because these are debug rocks, once again, like my last waterfall, your Sims should honestly go right through it. The problem becomes that there is that drop-off, where the terrain tool and the room didn't want to meet up, that I've covered up with rocks, so I don't know if it's physically possible to get up to it, and I didn't try. But, if you try it and let me know. But it wasn't meant to be a swimmable waterfall this time, just a waterfall. And I really like those green, mossy rocks. I'll have to use those more, because I feel like they're more realistic to existence. There's not a lot of rocks out there. They're, perfectly clean. But yeah, my waterfall, good times. I tried to blend that edge on the top a little bit more, but I think it's just gonna look a little separate. And I don't mind. I end up actually quite liking the way it looks. This is the problem with working with pools like that is that sometimes you have to go a layer down and lift it up, because it doesn't know what level it's actually on, with the two different heights being so close to each other. So it does fight with you a little bit when you're putting rocks on the cusp to sort of blend the two pools together. I admittedly went a little roof crazy here. There are a lot of gables. It's largely unnecessary. That one's on me. But I had fun putting in 800 gables, so that's what matters. It also gave me a lot of roof to work with because I knew I wanted to put in solar panel roofs. This is an off-grid home, But I wanted to give your sim options if there were like appliances that they wanted to use that were on-grid things. I wanted to give you simple ways that didn't involve like having a whole generator or, filling your front yard full of wind turbines, things like that. So I wanted to give you options to be a little bit more on-grid if you wanted to. None of the furnishing that I put in the house to begin with requires power, but even while I was taking screenshots, it told me I was generating enough power to power a handful of objects. So, totally an option. The whole roof, I'll get back to it in a sec, you'll see me do it. The whole roof is solar panel roofing. And I also put that decorative pond thing, the expensive one, from the outdoor activities menu. You know the one I'm talking about. You'll see it in a sec. That allows you to draw water up, so that way you can have water to take like not lukewarm showers, things like that. And I usually do that if I'm playing in an off-the-grid build. I'll have one of those ponds so that I can draw water up, and I don't mind the dew collectors. I think they look nicer than a lot of the other eco-friendly options. So I usually have a dew collector or two, even if I'm like completely playing a normal build. Like my 100 Baby Challenge house right now has dew collectors and solar panels out front to help with bills. So I think I might have just acclimated to dew collectors, if we're being honest with ourselves, but I don't mind those. So normally dew collectors I'd put in. I didn't put any in this build because I don't know, if whoever plays in it is going to want something like that, but you do have the option to go draw water up out of that little pond, which, works pretty well. You'll get like a shower out of it, do some laundry. I also didn't put laundry in this, but normally if I'm doing an off-the-grid build, I will do wash tub laundry in a clothesline because it's fun and it fits the vibe. Also, when you're off the grid, you can get bored because there's not a whole lot to do unless you've got like a really specific craft or a collection that you're working on. So laundry kills time, builds fitness skill. It's just overall a fun choice, something I do a lot. I put this little island behind the stairs. It's a seating option. There's only one of them, but I think it's fun, compared to everything. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what they're building, because I'm listening to the weirdest, clunking noises, and I can't figure out what in the world would cause, because it sounds like they've got, okay, so picture with me, picture a bulldozer, right? Okay, so they're lifting the scoop, and it sounds like they're just shaking it, and one, I don't know how you do that, and two, I don't know why. So I'm just listening and trying to figure it out. My bad. I will try and be focused. I didn't put a couch downstairs, but there is that coffee table. Since the roof does generate power, if you wanted to put one of the little eco lifestyle TVs on it, that would probably work. But as of right now, there's just some candles on it. It is a little dark, admittedly, but I don't like to fill the place with camping lights. I don't think you need too much light. I think it's certainly livable, albeit slightly dark. You can see in the screenshots better that it is pretty dark. But it won't get in the way of playstyle at all, I don't think. I don't know why I put in such a massive table. I think I just wanted to fill that weird shaped space. Because it's not like I put in kids' rooms or anything. Like, the 2 Sims are gonna live here max. I guess they have parties. Weird off-grid parties. Everybody just reads books and makes candles. That could be fun, actually. Anybody want to have a weird off-grid book candle party? Because I'm down. No? Okay. Reasonable. No, I respect that. These bathrooms are pretty basic. It's basically a 1.5 bath, because there's no shower in the downstairs bathroom. You missed it, but I missed it. I just put the pond down. Cute pond. I also just like the way that pond looks, so I really appreciate that it has a real use now, because as fun as it was to, like, watch fish and snails in it, wasn't super useful. Didn't do much. I think this is just gonna be me decorating for another little while. It's not a super full house, but whenever I play off the grid, I do start a lot of, like, crafting and collections, and then shelves fill up quickly and surfaces fill up quickly. So I think it's gonna be a good thing that I left a lot of space for things. So you could put, like, another shelf in under the stairs and stack things on it, especially since I stuck a frog on the table in there. Start breeding frogs, suddenly you have, like, 30 frogs, and life is difficult, so left some space for it. My pebble path that I always use. The landscaping is admittedly a little lazy. All of the terrain sculpting makes me not want to sit there and put flowers down for an hour, so I'm deeply sorry. But I did remember to leave myself some space around the house on the terrain that I had shaped this time to put down some landscaping, so even though I kind of half-assed it, you could tell that I thought about it, at least, is what I'm saying. So, I had fun. I put so many weird roofs on that. I'm really sorry. That roof situation is a lot. It's a lot. But apparently it's incredibly effective at generating power. So, of course, some garden plots, because when you're off the grid, what else can you do? And a little grill, because I love those grills. And a bench to sit on outside, because there's not enough seating at that dining table. And screenshots. So, thanks. Like and subscribe. You know the drill. Sorry, this one wasn't, like, impressive, but I really like the concept, and I hope more people will bring eco-friendly building into their standard builds.